Hi, I'm Jamie Banner and I'm the founder of Medicare by Jamie. I'm a licensed insurance agent that works specifically with people enrolling into Medicare, and today I'm going to talk to you about Medicare specifically in the Northeast. So I do primarily Medicare Supplement plans, also known as Medigap plans, and depending on where you live in the country, some states actually have state-specific rules and guidelines regarding their enrollment as to whether they can do things like ask you health questions when you enroll in a Medicare Supplement plan. Before we get started, if you find the information in this video helpful, I'd appreciate if you give a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Now, like I said, what we're going to talk about is Medicare in the Northeast. So I'm talking states in that upper right corner of the US, like New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, because some of these states have specific rules that actually benefit you as the Medicare beneficiary if you want to enroll in a Medicare Supplement plan or change your plan later down the line. And some of these states kind of follow the same guidelines as the other states in the country, so it's important to understand whether your state has special state-specific guidelines or kind of just follows in suit with the rest of the country. So we're going to talk about those specific states. So as you can see from this chart, we've got kind of different groupings that your state might fall into on their Medicare Supplement rules. So the three categories we have: year-round open enrollment, year-round open enrollment with the Medigap plan, and then underwritten states. So each of these categories the states fall into follow different rules for changing your Medicare Supplement plan or possibly enrolling in one after you've started your Part B. So if you don't do it in that first initial enrollment period, because most people understand that when you start your Medicare Part B, you've got 6 months to enroll in a Medicare Supplement plan with no questions asked. So they can't assess your health history, your prescription use, any hospitalizations. They have to accept you into a plan regardless of your health. Now, for a lot of states, once those 6 months are up, boom, from there on out, you will always have to answer health questions, and the insurance companies are going to kind of regain the power. They can now decide whether they want to accept you or deny you. And I've seen people be denied for specific pre-existing conditions that would not have been a problem in their initial enrollment period. But there are some states that actually will not ask you health questions either all year or certain times of the year, or depending on your scenario. So we're going to break it down to see what your state does if you live in the Northeast. So the first section is going to be that year-round open enrollment. So the states I'm talking about specifically with this are New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. So in these three states, you have what's known as year-round open enrollment or year-round guaranteed issue, which means that these states, Medicare Supplement plans are required to accept you into the plan, no questions asked. So whether you are in your initial enrollment or any time pretty much during your Medicare lifetime, these plans must accept you regardless of your health history and your prescription history. It's pretty fantastic. That means that you are not going to be stuck in a plan with a rising premium, or if you had a Medicare Advantage plan and you want to make the switch, you can do so even if you had a major health episode. So it's really great if you live in these three states. Kind of the drawback though is premiums tend to be a lot higher in these states. So a Plan G and a Plan N are a higher rate than they would be in a state rather than a state like Texas where you have to go through underwriting. And that's because you can pick up these plans at any time. So in these three states, again, no health questions, no underwriting to get into the plan. But there is one thing I really need you to keep in mind. There is a pre-existing conditions limitation on a lot of these plans. So what that means is although the plans have to accept you, they can put a pre-existing conditions limitation on the plan for usually about the first 3 to 6 months, where they can deny charges if you did not come from creditable health insurance. So if you came from another Medicare Supplement plan into one, you had credible coverage. If you came from a Medicare Advantage plan into one of these, again, credible coverage. If you came from neither of these things, or you had just original Medicare A and B, no supplemental, no Medicare Advantage, you don't have credible coverage, and this pre-existing conditions limitation can come into play and they can deny charges for those 3 to 6 months. So a good thing to kind of keep in mind is you can't necessarily go no coverage until bam, I need it next month, because you could be limited for those first 3 months, which would get you some pretty big medical bills. So you want to always have some type of coverage leading up, and then you can up your coverage later or change the same plan with a better premium. But again, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, You can pick up a Medicare supplement anytime, any month of the year, no questions asked. Now, some other states are a little bit more finicky. So a state like Maine's a really big one. In your initial enrollment period, again, never any questions asked. That's all 50 states. First 6 months, no underwriting, no health questions. Maine also has year-round open enrollment, but the caveat is you have to already have a Medicare supplement plan. So if you have any plan, Plan N, Plan G, whatever it is, you can switch that plan throughout the year. But again, you had to be coming from a plan. So if you come with a Medicare Advantage plan and you want to go into a Medicare supplement plan, you will have to go through underwriting and you will have to answer those health questions. But if you already have a Medicare supplement plan in Maine, you can switch to another one, no underwriting required. So that's the catch with that one, is you have to come from another Medicare supplement plan. Now, the one other kind of weird thing about Maine is Plan A, which is really not that great of coverage, but Plan A is guaranteed acceptance no matter what you're coming off of. So it's not the greatest Medicare supplement plan, but it is offered in Maine where you can get into that plan with no underwriting. Just Plan A though. So if you're coming from Medicare Advantage and you can't qualify for a Plan G or Plan N, you can still qualify for Plan A. Now, if you live in one of these states, so we're talking New Jersey, Vermont, and New Hampshire, these are underwriting states. So unfortunately, your state does not have these great rules where you can get into a Medicare supplement with no underwriting. If you do not choose one within those first 6 months, so your initial enrollment to Part B and month 7 on, you will always be subjected to medical underwriting. Now, medical underwriting is going to look at your health history, your prescription history, hospitalizations, things like that. And again, they can approve or deny you into a plan, even if you're trying to switch from one Medicare supplement to another. So it's really important to keep in mind, even if you have a Plan G and now you want to switch to another Plan G with another company, you will go through medical underwriting. Vermont's a little bit of a tricky one because they do say that you can have year-round open enrollment, but that's at the discretion of the insurance company, and that's realistically could be any state. If the insurance company's in charge, odds of them giving you open enrollment with no questions asked, slim to none, because they're protecting themselves. So if you live in New Jersey, Vermont, New Hampshire, and pretty much most other states, Pennsylvania, DC, most of the US, you're going to have medical underwriting to switch your Medicare supplement or enroll in one at all past your initial enrollment period. So like I said, some of the Northeast has a little bit different guidelines in terms of their Medicare supplement enrollment. It's a good thing to keep in mind that you want to know your state specific rules to see if you can do it any time or if you're going to have to be conscious of those medical underwriting questions. And that's what I do. I assist people in finding the best Medicare supplement plans. I'm licensed in all these states. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have and help you set up your enrollment so we don't miss those guidelines. If you have any questions, you can always give me a call. My number is 833-65-JAMIE. You can also visit my website, medicarebyjamie.com, or you can send me an email, jamie@medicarebyjamie.com, and I'll work with you. There is no charge to work with me, and I'll go through everything you need to know about your Medicare and Medicare supplement enrollment. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below.